What's up everybody, Kinetic here and welcome back to Path of Exile. In this video I'm going to be talking about my impressions of the new Legacy League here in patch 2.6, and I'm also going to be breaking down the Duelist Earthquake build that I've chosen for this league. Before we get into the details of the build, because that is going to take quite a while as I really want to go through it as quickly but as thoroughly as I can prior to releasing more videos from here, I want to give my impressions and talk about the Legacy League. Now, it's really funny to me. I don't know if I already said this to you guys or not, but I know I've said it to a couple of other people. I said to myself before we knew about the details of the Legacy League, I was like, why doesn't Blizzard like do something for the game to like just add more things to the adventures that we go on? We have this adventure mode, and every once in a blue moon they'll do like a double reward chests or double goblins or something like that. They'll modify basically, right, the experience that we're having when we're going out adventuring. And then also after playing Grim Dawn, I thought to myself, why don't they do something like that? They can just add like randomly spawning rifts or something like that we can go into while we're in adventure mode. There's just so many things they could do, right? And now here we are. And now that I'm playing Path of Exile again, and I'm playing the Legacy League, it's like they did exactly that. But even better than that is it's actually fully customizable, right? Because you can set in different league stones that will create different modifiers to the adventure that you're going on. And these are so much fun to find, especially when they're in the higher quality, and then you start combining different effects. Like this one will add a shrine to the next area that I go into. There's a breach that can be added, rampage bonuses, and each of these has a certain amount of charges. So as you probably already know this, but as you go into the next area, right, a fresh area that maybe you've been to and has reset, or that you haven't been into at all, it will use up one of those charges and it will add that bonus to that next area. So it's a brilliant system, and there are so many different league stones with so many other different effects. My favorites right now so far are the breach, and the beyond, and what's the other one? I can't remember. The one that adds. The one that, I think this is it, isn't it? Yeah, the Anarchy one. The Anarchy League Stone that adds a Rogue Exile to the area. Also really like Essence stones, because obviously that gives me another means of, you know, possibly having an upgrade to gear and stuff like that. But those are so much fun. And I gotta say, if this is the only time we ever get to experience, it probably won't be, but if they stop doing Legacy, like, leagues after this Legacy League or whatever, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Let me know if you've heard anything about this only being a temporary thing, or whether we have Legacy Leagues as a permanent option in the future. I really hope so. I really hope that, regardless of what Grinding Gear Games does from this point forward in Path of Exile, I really, really, really want a Legacy League to still exist, because it's just so much fun. Like I said, to be able to essentially customize your own league experience. It's just so much fun, and has made this by far, as well as the new build that I'm playing, the most fun that I've ever had in Path of Exile. Now that I'm done talking about the Legacy League, let's talk about the build and where I'm at here. So I think I already mentioned I'm now finished with normal difficulty, level 44, and there's some of my stats right there. Now the funny thing is, the skills that I now have equipped, the skill gems and stuff like that, as they are now, I only just did that like maybe 20 minutes ago or something like that. I've actually been running an older setup that was still working so good with this build that I didn't feel the need to change. So I went ahead and went through the Ascendancy trial. I went ahead and killed Malachi and stuff like that. And then after that, I thought to myself, well, before I go into Cruel, let's go ahead and fully optimize this with the gems and stuff like that I'm supposed to have according to this build. Now, this build that I'm playing is Norse's Earthquake Slayer. The interesting thing I think about this choice is that I actually chose this way before Lifting Nerd Bro did his videos, when he was talking about the 5 recommended 2.6 builds or something like that for, what did it title it, for beginners or something like that. So seeing it listed there was kind of amusing to me, because I had already chosen that as my build. I really wanted to do something melee this time, compared to, and as a contrast to the last build that I did for videos, which was my Firestorm Witch build. Now the thing that amazes me the most actually about this build is how much more powerful it has been from such an earlier stage than my Witch Firestorm build ever felt. The complicated nature of that Firestorm build, in the way that it was put together by that creator, it worked really well. But it also, I think, maybe required a more skillful and more experienced player than I am in Path of Exile to make it work as good as it needed to, or could be played. But it really felt like there was so much more I needed in terms of like my gear and how I needed to set up my gems to get the most out of it. And so I felt myself like I was making like a joke out of the content, but it was so hard to build it the way that it was supposed to be built, if that makes any sense. And on top of that, like I said, this build has felt so much more powerful so much earlier on than that build. So it's really, really amazing. Like, from pretty much the time that I got Sunder and beyond with this build, by the way, I'll have a link to it in the description if you want to get the full details there. But from the point pretty much that I got Sunder, like, it's just been so ridiculously powerful. So what I want to do really quickly is go over the main gems and kind of what gems I'm going to be building up to once I get the proper colors, or, you know, more gem slots in what pieces and stuff like that, and kind of talk about some tweaks that I've been making here and there, and what I plan to do in the kind of immediate future. So obviously, because I don't have a 5 or even a 4 slot weapon, my Earthquake is not being built into the weapon, but it's supposed to be. Right now it's being built into the boots, and what it has here is the Earthquake gem itself. Less duration, which one of my friends told me, like, when I told him I was doing an Earthquake build, he's like, "You've got to have less duration." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." It's cool. Hi, poet. And then we've got melee physical damage support, and then here we've got poison support. Now, the reason why I've got poison support here is it's listed according to the guide, but it's actually, if I'm interpreting this correctly, it's listed as a lower priority than what I'm actually supposed to have here if I had my perfect choice, which is increased area of effect support. That's actually higher in the priorities, again, according to this guide and how I'm interpreting it, than poison support. And I only just now put, by the way, poison support in this slot. But that's where I'm supposed to be going in the future. Once I get 3 reds, 1 blue, for example, then that's probably the first thing that I'll do. There's another combination that's suffering sort of in a similar way. The Ancestral War Chief with melee physical and Bloodlust. And then here we have faster attack support. Now this is supposed to be, again, this is listed lower in the priorities according to the guide, and instead what I'm supposed to be having earlier than that is concentrated effect support. But again, same problem with the Earthquake situation, is it's the wrong colors. Next up, in the headpiece, right, what we have here is vulnerability, blasphemy, temporal chains, and this is a personal choice for me, because I think that I'm supposed to be abandoning it by now, pretty much. The Summoned Stone Golem is a really fun gem to have. For one, because I'm a huge fan of any time I can have pets in a build. That's just, if you've been watching my channel, you know how I am about pet builds. I really like them, hence why I did the Necromancer Firestorm build last time. But I really like this gem. It was recommended according to the guide to get when I had access to it, and it's been really fun to have since. And out of the other choices that I could have put here in the red slot, I believe another one was like what was it? Endurance or something like that was another choice. I decided to go with this because without relying on endurance charges, this goes ahead and gives me life regeneration by having this Stone Golem out. He's also really fun to watch and to listen to his attacks. He uses a rolling charge and a powerful slam abilities that taunt enemies. So that's why I've chosen to hold on to that for now. If I had my choice, I'd probably keep him around forever, but I have a feeling he's gonna have to be abandoned eventually. Leap Slam into endurance charge on melee, faster attack support. And then we have Fortify. Now, according to the guide, Fortify is supposed to be in the main links. Now, I don't actually know what he means by that. What I think he means by that, again, because I'm a freaking noob, is I believe Fortify is actually supposed to be combined with the Earthquake combination once I have a weapon that actually has, you know, more, or any item really for that matter, that has more gem slots than that and can support Fortify. Once that is supported somewhere else, then I am going to be putting a blood magic in its place. So the poison, the faster attacks are eventually going to be replaced by area of effect and concentrated, and then those other green gems added later, depending on the color combination. And then there's also Vol Lightning Trap, and I actually found this as my very first gem, so it was funny to me that it was listed as part of the guide here. I can't remember exactly where this goes. Oh, it's supposed to be with cast when damage taken, but I don't have 2 blues with 2 reds, and the vortex is listed before the trap, so I assume that means that it's you know, higher priority, and I went ahead and put a Mortal Call here. I believe I already mentioned that this is an Earthquake Slayer, so that's the Ascendancy, and the first 2 points recommended were to go into a Bane of Legends. Gain Onslaught for 20 seconds when you kill a rare or unique enemy, which is pretty cool. Kill enemies that have 20% or lower life when hit by your skills, even on Malachi, which is like, really? These high health enemies, you know, or these super bosses that I'm finding, I can kill if they have 20% or lower life when hit by my skills with the Bane of Legends passive? It's just, it sounds so freaking OP, man. But this is such a cool Ascendancy perk here. Onslaught grants 20% increased attack, cast, and movement speed in addition to that, which is great because if you were really paying attention, my freaking boots don't have movement speed, which made me so sad. I think it was around the 20s or something like that when I found some boots that had movement speed, and then I had to give them up because these are the better boots with the 4-link capability. So I'm moving a little bit slower, but I'm making up for it with Quicksilver flasks, and it's doing quite well. Wrapping up the finer details of how this build works, essentially on most of it, if not all the pieces, I'm trying to get as much maximum life as I can. I have it here on the chest. It's completely missing, unfortunately, though, on the boots and the gloves, which I believe it's supposed to have. And for the jewelry, I'm having to take advantage of as much intelligence as I can get because of the vulnerability. Where is it? This bastard right here requires 83 currently, 83 freaking intellect, which is insane. That's why I need intelligence on all 3 pieces of jewelry, especially because these are also shit pieces. This is a level 17 ring. This is a level 20 ring, and this is 28. I'm 44. That's terrible, it feels like, but that's all I've got for now, basically, and so I'm working with it. Now here's an interesting little kind of thing that I was thinking of doing, like as my own design for this build, and maybe you guys can give me your feedback on this. What I was thinking of doing, because I have a gem. I'm not going to go back to the box for it, but I have a gem that I can equip here in the passive area, and what it will do is it will convert any dexterity passive nodes that fall into its radius, and it has a large radius according to the gem, and it will convert any dexterity that it finds into intelligence. So what I'm thinking of doing is we've got a gem slot, a jewelry slot right here. I've already actually started to kind of make my way over there. I'm only 1 point away, and then I'll unlock this slot. I'll put in that gem, which will, I believe it by default gives me intelligence, plus it converts within the radius, however big it is, and it says it's large. It will convert dexterity into intelligence. So you might know where I'm going with this here. It will hit, if it's as large as it seems to be, it will hit both of these dexterity nodes, which will convert 20 dexterity into 20 intellect. Now, as it is now, I think from the gem requirements, I can afford to lose 20 dexterity, and I could really use 20 more plus, like it's going to be like 30 plus actually intelligence or something like that. And then what that will do was that will basically give me the freedom to have more options for what I want here as jewelry, because like I said, I'm basically forced to use these jewelry pieces no matter how terribly low level they are, because they're the only ones that give me intelligence. Without the need to put intelligence here, then I can put other, you know, better rings here that may give me better resistances, may give me bonus to, you know, max life, give me more mana, give me more strength, stuff like that, physical damage. So it seems to me like because I have that gem, that's a good option to maybe go into for now. And then maybe later on down the line, I can use up a couple of refund passives when I no longer feel like I need that intelligence anymore or whatever. And yeah, kind of give myself a way to have the freedom, like I said, to upgrade my jewelry. Whew. Man, that's a lot to talk about. But this is going to be like one of the only times that I really break down and talk about the build and in detail, kind of like exactly what I'm setting up here and why I'm setting it up. If you've never played Path of Exile, or if you haven't played Path of Exile in a long time, now is the time, I feel like, to get back into the game, to play it, and like I said, just what I'm doing, you know, get a chance to experience it, really give it a chance, and see what the game has to offer, because it feels like we're going through this awesome like history lesson or something like that of all the previous leagues and their powers, and now able to customize them and put them together in our own way. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for now, guys. My throat's getting kind of sore from all this talking. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Click the like button to support Path of Exile videos here on the channel. Like I said, I'm going to roll out at least one, maybe two videos each and every week talking about the Legacy League, talking about Path of Exile maybe in general, and also, like I said, also talking about the build and my progression with that. Shout out to Norse for making an awesome build, Lifting Nerd Bro for showing it off in his top 5 or whatever video for Path of Exile builds in 2.6. It definitely is an awesome build to play, and is really working for me in kind of my newbie hands significantly better than the Firestorm Witch build that I did in the past. I do want to revisit that build at some point, but right now this is really awesome. Yeah, that's gonna do it for now, guys. Thanks again for watching. This is Kinetic, and I'll see you next time.